everybody, to another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we do always start the show by being transparent, but there hasn't been a show over the weekend. I know I have won 7 of my last 10, so trending in the right direction. And let me do this now because I just got a phone call before I went live. Do not disturb. But trending in the right direction. So we try to, keep that going here into this week. I know we have two Monday night football games, but I'm not that big on football. So we'll see. I know we have 13, I think, NBA games as well. So I want to get through the NBA as fast as we can, and we'll see how we feel, if we want to try to do anything in NFL after that. But shout out to you guys in the chat. Nathan, always first. Appreciate you tuning in. It says Chiefs killing him, but the Lake Show, though, yeah, I had them again on what was it there Saturday to win the championship. So that was good, and definitely enjoyed that. Bryce talking about his winners in that game. Nice work there. Prolific 74 says Cougars haven't covered first half twice already. Ski didn't bet it, thank God. I didn't. The last game that they just had versus what was it? It was a team that starts with the J. I don't know why I'm blanking out right now, but it was never even made available to me out here in Vegas. So I did not bet it, and I'm glad I didn't because it didn't win. It's still been good so far. I think I'll get the updated record, but out of as many games as they played, I think it's failed to cover 3 times total. So we'll see next time we have them on the docket. Kyle Wright already looking at some NFL. Hello, Miss Tasha, Justin. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Mel with the fire best bet says, "Hope you're catching me 3-0 now and the best bets on the show." And nice work, brother. Keep them coming. Let's see. Let's see. No, Edgar. I don't know a whole lot about UFC. I would like to learn though. Gilbert likes Dolphins team total over. We'll see if we can get there. What up, you Capper? Appreciate you tuning in. And there we go. Meanoff reminding me. Yeah, it was Jackson State. I never got a line for Houston versus Jackson State, but I thought they would kill him. So that is interesting. What up, Munoz? Brian says now they're covering full game. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how we approach the next one. But a lot of games today. So let's get to it. And today I feel like before we get to the games, I just want to say, like, we've never had this early in the season where they had that in-season tournament. Everybody's getting a little break, like almost like a mini all-star break. I feel like everybody has, you know, it's just pretty rested right now. So I wanted to talk these games out a little bit more. I also started to see some stuff with the injury report. Just guys, I feel like all day long, even yesterday, I was seeing them come in. Like I wanted to take my time because of the injury report today. So let's talk them out, and we'll go in rotation order like we always do. First game up, we will go 537, 538. That's going to be the Pacers and the Pistons. This game opened up Pacers -8. We now see them as a 7.5 or 7 point favorite. Total open 245.5. And we're looking at 247 as the consensus right now. For the injury report, Neesmith, game time decision. Looks like they'll continue to be without Andrew Nimhart and Jalen Smith. For Detroit, Jalen Duren out of, I think, a week and a half more, or like 2 weeks, something like that. Monte Morris out. Marvin Bagley doubtful. So this is tough because if it's more in a point, I get why Pacers are this big of a favorite. Like I don't view them as this team to be expected to win by close to double digits because it's Pacers are not a team that plays a whole lot of defense. They are 1-0 as a road favorite. Pistons have been abysmal, although they do have Bogdanovich in the lineup now, which should make them better offensively. But Pistons are 1-5-1 against the spread their last 7 games. Um, I still, I mean, if I look at just the stats, and these stats, I believe, do not include the in-season tournament because the elimination games because every team didn't play them. The last 5 game stats here says Detroit has been better defensively and rebounding team. I do think they'll suffer on the boards without Duren, and I'm not really buying Detroit defense. So if I just look at it like that, I want to lean towards the Pacers. I really just don't want the Pistons. And if I like the Pacers, I think it's a high scoring game. We know they're playing up tempo. We know how potent the offense is. They're 7-1-1 to the over so far on the road this season. I think it's high for a reason. Still couldn't play under 247 in this game. It's gone over 5 of the last 7 meetings between both of these teams. Only way I can see it play out again here today. And let's see if the comments agree here. Let's see. A lot of comments coming in. People talking about everything in here. Everything except for this game. Saturated, not a fan of the Pistons. Says Pistons second worst offensive rating the last 5 games. I think that starts to improve with Boggy back in the lineup. I really do. UCapper, you must not be talking to me. You're talking to somebody else there because I was gonna say I didn't get any package. I don't even remember the last time I checked my mail. So you'd have to tell me if you sent something. Bryce says Pacers team total over. He thinks that's the way to go, and I could agree with that. I think they named their number, and if they do cover this game, I don't think it's because they're playing a whole lot of defense. I think they're just shooting lights out. Tyler Wynn says Hallie for 30 plus. I can see it versus defense. I'd like to include his assists whenever I got Hallie points plus assists. I'd probably prefer more. Timothy says Pacers minus whatever. Detroit is trash. I think this is a game that I'm not going to get involved with. So I will keep it going here. Bryce Miller likes McConnell over points if it's lower than 7.5. Yeah, I thought about this too. Teams returning back home after playing in Vegas. I thought about that too. I didn't. We can't really look it up for NBA, but same kind of concept. Do they care about? They never care about playing defense anyway here, but do they care about playing defense in this game? Probably not a whole lot. I agree with that. I need money to answer this question. Probably the past 2 seasons, I played volume in the NBA. Star Style reminds everybody to hit the like button. It is much appreciated, and we'll keep it moving. 12 more games on the slate. We'll move over to 539, 540. Cleveland Cavaliers, Orlando Magic. This game opened up Magic -3. Going the other direction. See 1.5 right now. Total open 225.5. We're looking at 227. For the injury report, Ty Jerome, Karis LeVert, Evan Mobley, Ricky Rubio, all out. For the Magic, Harris, Fultz, Carter out, and Suggs here, game time decision. So for this one, these teams, well, for one, Cleveland does play again tomorrow. They have the Celtics on deck. So could be a little bit of a look ahead there. But I know the Magic, the Magic are a good team too. They have a better record than the Cavs right now. So they really shouldn't be overlooking them. The last time these teams played, I think it was December 6th, the Magic did lose by like 10 points. So it could be a quick revenge situation for them. They have been good so far as a home favorite. They're 5-1 against the spread. When they play competition, meaning greater than 55% win teams, I have them listed as 6-2 ATS. They've covered 9 of their last 12 games in general. It's hard for me to go against the Magic here, just expecting them to win. For the Cavs, they have actually been pretty good so far on the road this year. Even 3-1 as a road dog. I know this one is more like they have to win, but if I'm not mistaken, they're 7-3 so far straight up on the road as well. And versus competition, they're 6-3 against the spread. So if I just look at stats only, it tells me Cleveland has been a better defense. Cleveland has been a better rebounding team. But I just don't know how much they care about this one on the front end of a back-to-back on the road in comparison to the Magic, who can get some quick revenge. So either Magic first half, Magic full game. Those are the only ways for me to look at this one. And for the total, I'll probably just leave it alone. I feel like it's 2 teams playing opposite ways right now as far as the totals are concerned. Cleveland trending under, Magic trending over. So just to lean towards the Magic here for me in this one. Let's see what the chat likes. Raven Ron likes the Magic -1.5 as well. UCAP are leaning a little bit towards the over, or maybe that was the Pacers because people still talking about the Pacers here. So I put him on that. Saturated asking about the Magic first half. It's been pretty good all year long. Brian likes first half and full game at home for the Magic. Mitch agreeing it's a Magic spot, and you kept letting me know that was an over for the Pacers game. Justin likes the Cavs plus 1.5. He's the only person I see liking the Cavs here in this matchup. Christian says Cavs might want to get those for sure since they got Boston back to back next. And I can understand that thought process too. Not starting to get a win in the next two. So let's see if we can go get one tonight. I definitely understand that. Anwar says Mobley's absence will matter. And I would agree with that as well. So only Orlando is the look for me. Didn't get to the window yet, but doesn't mean I won't get there by the end of the day. Next game up, we have 541, 542. Washington Wizards heading into Philly to take on the Sixers. Opened up Sixers minus 12.5. Looking at minus 12 as the consensus right now. Total open 244. Not much movement. We're looking at 244.5 as the consensus. Injury report. Gafford is game time decision for this Wizards team. Other than that, they'll be without Johnny Davis, Rollins, Landry Shamet, DeLon Wright. For the Sixers, Embiid is game time decision. And if I'm not mistaken, I saw that he did not participate in shoot around this morning. Looking at both of these teams, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I feel like the Wizards have been playing a little bit better lately as far as against the spread. I do have them as 8-5 as a road dog in general so far this season. But Philly also has been really strong at home, 7-2 as a home favorite. So it makes it a little bit tough for me. Obviously, I want to know the status of Embiid, especially if I'm going to be laying double digits with the Sixers here. So I probably prefer the total. And when I think about it like that, I mean, the Sixers, for one, have played six straight overs. They're 8-3 to the over at home as well. And the Wizards, we know how they want to play. It's up tempo. They're number one in pace the last 5 games, and they don't play a whole lot of defense. Bottom 5 defensive rated team in that same span. It's this Sixers team. Oh, my bad. Says he did participate in shoot around for Embiid. So um appreciate you correcting me there. So that's good news that you do like the Sixers. But number one offensive rated team for the Sixers last 5 games, against this Wizards defense, I just see them going crazy. It's gone over 5 of the last 6 meetings. I could only look towards an over here. I know, we got 3 games in the 240 range. It's starting to become normal for these high totals. And I just think it's high for a reason. So regardless if Embiid plays or not, I think they'll still play with pace on the Sixers side and would only look towards the over. So that's the way I prefer to play that one. Let's take a look at the chat. Let's see how you guys feel about it. Adam Larkin trying to cash in here. What up, Brandon? Dwight Jackson likes Maxey over his points. Brian says Sixers team total over, and B's gonna kill it today. I think that's what he's saying there. Yeah, some disagreement. Let us know he did participate in shoot around. Christian, however, doesn't think he's gonna play today. What up, Jay Wills? Appreciate you tapping in. David thinks the Sixers are gonna smash in this game minus the points. Chris sharing a query here. Likes the Sixers team total. Chris sharing a query here. Teams that play within a week, the last matchup went over. It's in the regular season. The total is higher than the previous total. So it's pretty much if you know, you know. My, people have been calling their own if you know, you know. But my if you know, you know for the under, this looks like the same exact query just for the over. And he's letting me know it's 60% to the over. And Chris likes it as well. So I didn't have this one on my initial short list, but I like having that trend to back me up a little bit there, and that goes back 10 years. So I will add, put here Washington, Philly, over. Best number we get is 244.5, I think, right now. So I'll put that on my list there. Appreciate you sharing that, Chris. And let's keep looking at the chat. What up, Sweaty Butcher? Gilbert likes Melton over 2.5 threes. Melton has been good, right? They do have Oubre back in the lineup, right? Because I don't see him here on the injury report. So I know that a lot of those Melton looks were without him in the lineup. We'll see if it continues with him back in it. Let's see. Let's see. Sean Evans says if Embiid plays, he likes his points over 33. Says the Wizards gave a 130 plus to the Sixers in both games this season as well. I think Embiid has been like killing the Wizards too the last like few times he's played them. Like big games. Dave, I appreciate you sharing. He likes the Pelicans as his best bet today. Small play on the Wizards plus the points. What up, Top Set? Hope all is well with you, brother. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. Saturated says that Melton PRA was a look without Oubre. Says he got there last week with Oubre back. I think last game with Oubre back. That's what he's saying. All right, so my look is the over here. And I'm sharing those Embiid stats 48, 34, 50, 48 last 4 games versus the Wizards. Can absolutely see him doing it again, especially if they're missing Gafford for tonight. So we shall see how that one shakes out. I will be looking towards the over on the full game. Let's try to keep it moving. As my guy Peter Loshak would say, gotta keep a brisk pace when you have 13 games on the slate. I think we're doing a pretty solid job so far. Next game up, we have 543, 544, Miami and Charlotte. This game opened up Miami -3. I see them as a 3.5 point favorite right now. Total opened up 220.5. Actually, I'm seeing some fours out there as well. Total open 220.5. We're looking at 221 as a consensus here. Injury report for the Heat. Kyle Lowry is game time decision. They will be without Bam, Tyler Hero, and Highsmith. For the Hornets, they continue to be without Frank Ntilikina, Cody Martin, LaMelo Ball. It looks like Mark Williams and Nick Smith both doubtful for this game, both unlikely to play here tonight. Um, the first thing that came to my mind when I thought about this game, it was not the last game that they played, but before the previous game. All right, so let me say that again. Not the last game for the Heat, but before the game before that. If you guys can understand that, maybe my brain is not working correctly right now. But I remember talking to Rob Vino, and Jimmy Butler was pretty much saying like, in a way, just saying, they got to start winning some games. They went out there, they played a really good one. I think the last game they did lose. I think they're going to start to trend in the right direction. They are 3-1-1 as a road favorite so far this season. Last 5 games, they've been a better offensive team. They've been a better rebounding team. The defense has been lacking, but I think a lot of that is a couple games versus the Pacers. Hornets 2-5 ATS their last 7 games, missing a whole lot of pieces here. I just it comes down to me not having faith in this Hornets team. And when Jimmy talks, I tend to try to listen. And I do think the Heat defense is better than what these last 5 game stats show. So if they can continue to be the better offense, they can continue to win on the boards, which I think they can. I think they can win this one by margin. So Heat -3 or 3.5 is on my short list. You can still get 3.5 out there right now. I think that's the best way to play this game. Yeah, that's how I would play it. Let's take a look at the chat and see if you guys agree. Let's take a look. As that warrior says, Ski, you know the answer here. I know which way you going. We will get there, Sweaty Butcher, talking about the Denver game. David says Miami's his team, but they will not cover. Brucey likes the Heat on the money line, the Pelicans money line, plus 156. Sounds like 2 good looks. Bryce Miller likes Heat first half, Heat full game. Can't talk you off. Let me take a look specifically at this first half. I feel like the first half margin for the Hornets, they are like really close to the bottom, if not at the bottom. And I'm wrong. I am wrong here. First half margin, Charlotte. They are near the bottom, but they're not at the bottom. -4.2 for the Hornets, and for the Heat, +2.8. So first half margins do say that first half should be or that's how they've been playing. They've been playing stronger than the Hornets in the first half, rather. Better way to say that. UCapper agrees, says he's on the Heat. I'd like to hear that. Dr. Shelley says laying 4 against the Hornets without LaMelo sounds free. That's the only way I can look. Only way I can look in this game, and I very well may get there. I didn't make any bets. Like I said, I want to come on and talk things out with you. However, this was already on my short list from last night. So we'll keep it moving here. And Christian says he loves the Heat as well. All right, next game up, we're making good time today. I feel like I'm trying to do like 5 minutes a game. We're doing all right today. 5:45, 5:46. Denver Nuggets, Atlanta Hawks. This game opened up Denver -2.5. Hasn't moved. Total opened 238.5. Up about 3 points to 241.5. Let me refresh the injury report here. For Denver, Jamal Murray is game time decision, but likely to play. For the Hawks, it looks like they're still going to be without Jalen Johnson. DeAndre Hunter is the game time decision here for this Hawks team. And I mean, somebody in the chat said it. I did see the question earlier. They're like, what's up with this Denver line? -2.5. Why is it so short? And here's, I think the Sweaty Butcher, he says it again. This feels like a setup. I agree. The line does seem fishy, trappy, however you want to call it. Denver is on the front end of a back to back. Denver, I mean, maybe it's just because the market has to adjust because they haven't been covering. It could just be that too. They are 3-11-1 against the spread their last 15 games. Denver has covered 2 out of 11 games as a road favorite so far this season. So, I mean, Book's not going to let you continue to just, fade Denver time and time again. Maybe that's the reason for them lowering the spread to almost a pick 'em here because this Hawks team has been pretty poor. They're only 1-2 as a home dog so far this season, but they failed to cover 6 games in a row against the spread. And I'm pretty sure that is since Jalen Johnson has went down for this Hawks team. They haven't covered a game. They're also really poor versus competition. I have them as 1-6 against the spread versus 55% win teams or better. And that's absolutely what they're up against in Denver tonight. So last 5 game stats says Denver's been the better offense, defense. They haven't been the better rebounding team, but they're more than capable of doing it. It's just how much do they care with the game on deck. So I do want to lean towards Denver here. I do agree at the same time that it feels trappy, and maybe you can just pivot and maybe you can just go with an over here. I agree with that as well. We know the Hawks going to play up tempo. Nuggets, not as much, but they're efficient on offense. And neither team really good defensively lately. Last 5 game stats, both bottom 10 defensive rated teams. So combination of that, we look at when these teams usually meet, 7 of the last 8 meetings have gone up and over. It's either the over or the Nuggets. Nuggets do feel fishy. I have to admit it. So we shall see. I'm not sure if I'll get there with it, but that's the way I feel about this game. Let's take a look at the chat, see how you guys feel. And here goes the net. It says Hawks are his best bet. Interesting. Lit picks, like in Joker on his PRA over 53.5. So does Gilbert. Boofer says, this show cruises by when we're all on time. Yeah, don't have to get asked about stuff we've already mentioned in the first 5 minutes of the show, right? That's what you were saying last time, Boofer. Sean Evans agrees. This looks like a straight trap. Says Nuggets been asked on the road, but the Hawks been even more asked at home. Hawks been asked, period. So I'm in agreement there. Sweaty Butcher says Hawks are one of the worst ATS teams in the league. Appreciate you sharing this. Stop Geoengineering. We did talk about that game earlier. Like Paulo over 22.5 points. UCapper says Denver has had to travel for 16 straight games now. I mean, that coincides with this thing, right? 16 straight games. I believe you're including today. You should probably including today because they're 3-11-1 ATS their last 15 games. So all this traveling has been covered. And they've had people in and out of the lineup. They can get some consistency with the lineup and not have to just travel so much. I mean, but they do have to travel again tomorrow. maybe they can start to change that ATS look. I think Denver is bet on in the near future. It's just does it start tonight? UCapper also says Hawks have been traveling a lot recently too. Let's see. Chris says he's so close to betting Denver in the first quarter, first half of full game. The way Denver lost to Houston the other night with Murray getting thrown out, having a full roster, thinks he'll get there before game time. I mean, it makes sense to me. It looks real easy. It looks real easy. I can't lie. And usually those games, start to go the other way. But my thought process is the same as you, Chris. Yeah, UCapper is confirming they haven't covered since Jalen Johnson has been out. Let's see. Let's see. Boofer likes that Denver first quarter. Justin sharing his best bet because he has to run. He likes Jordan Love to throw a pick tonight. Minus 103. Appreciate you sharing, bro. And enjoy the rest of your day. J Money 029 says Nuggets to cover. Jokic triple double spot. Some value coming off 2 bad games to his standard. I can understand one in the back, Jokic, thinking he bounces back after a couple bad games. That process makes sense to me. Edgar says Hawks 1-8, ATS at home. Failed to cover 6 straight without Jalen Johnson. Let's see a couple more. Let me see. A lot of just conversation going on here, and I love that too, because you know, all of us we come do this every day. Should become friends. It's a nice community, I guess I'll call it, that we have here, and I love it. We all talk these things out and find some ways to beat the book. So I think that's it for this game. I would only look towards the Nuggets, only look towards the over. Not quite sure that I'll get there to the window at the end of the day. Now, did say the Nuggets are playing the Bulls tomorrow. Now we're going to go to, oh no, skipped one, my bad. And this is, I think I forgot to make one banner. So bear with me for 1 second while I put it up there. It is going to be 5:47. See if we can talk and do this. 5:47, 5:48. Raptors at the New York Knicks. This game opened Knicks -5. We now see a consensus of around -4. Total open 217 and a half. And we're looking at right now 221. So, boom, we did that. So, injury report for these teams. For the Raptors, Koloko out, Otto Porter out. For the Knicks, Jalen Brunson is game time decision. Quickly is game time decision. Mitchell Robinson, I did see that he's going to be out. I think it said like 8 to 10 weeks, so not going to be expecting him in the near future. Um, this one is a little bit tough. Let me just take a look at this one again. Open. I think I might have overlooked this one a little bit this morning, but open -5, down to 4, and the total is going up. Total going up like this in the Knicks and Raptors game is the first thing that catches my eye because that's not how I view these teams. I view both of them as slow playing, more defensive type teams. When I look at let's look at how they've been playing lately. Last 5 game stats does confirm they haven't been playing with pace. Knicks though, sixth best offensive rated team. Raptors, however, bottom 5. The defenses though they've been lacking. Knicks are bottom 10 defensive rated team in that same span. Raptors 16th. So how they've been playing lately doesn't live up to my, you know, how do I say? Doesn't live up to how I view these teams in general. Um, both teams bottom 10 defending at 3 on the season. The last 5 meetings for these teams have gone over. There you go. Knicks over 5 of their last 6. And I did hear Thibodeau, or I know Thibodeau was very displeased with their defense. And now that I'm thinking about it, I can understand why the total is going up now. No Mitchell Robinson, a lot less protection for the paint. I can understand this one getting up and over. Don't know that I'll bet it there. The Raptors, though, 1-4 ATS their last 5. You look at the Knicks, they've been failing to cover 2 and 6 ATS their last 8. But when they play lesser competition, and when I say that, it's teams less than a 45% win percentage, they seem to take advantage. They're 6-2 ATS. So I want to lean towards the Knicks here. It still makes me feel uncomfortable, but maybe I think the correct thing to do here is I think the market is moving the right way. If these teams usually meet and it goes over, and now you have less rim protection for the Knicks, the Knicks defense has been horrendous. I mean, no rim protection is not going to make their defense better. I think this one is an over game. I think the market is moving in the right direction. So if I was making one play, that is what it would be. Over 221 Knicks and Raptors. And let's see how the chat feels about this. I apologize for that too. I did overlook this game a little bit. So many games, I guess I might have just skipped over it. Let's see. Seeing comments for a lot of other games. I'm getting lost in so many comments, or not other games, but just other stuff in general and other games. I'm getting lost in so much other stuff. What up, Nasty Nate? Appreciate you tapping in. Dr. Shilly likes the Raptors plus 4.5 here. Lit Picks disagrees, says a smash for the Knicks here. David says the Knicks money line is free. Munaf looking towards Hardenstein over on his rebounds. He should get a lot more run. Looks like he's going to be in the starting lineup. So I think that's a good look. Very solid look right there. Either him or Randall should be collecting all of the boards tonight. Dr. Shilly says RJ always does well against the Raptors. Look towards over on his points. Saturated, drink some water, Ski. Man, I did have an eventful weekend. I will tell you that. I've been needing to drink a lot of water to revive myself. Sean likes Barnes over 8.5 rebounds, and that does ring a bell because not we, but a lot of people in the chat. I can't say myself because I haven't been betting it, but a lot of people in the chat were riding that Barnes over 7.5 rebounds. All right, I got my water. Everybody's telling me to drink water. What? Man, it's good though. It's good. I did need it. I did need it. All right, a couple more comments, then we'll keep going here. I don't think this is a game that we will bet, and I don't see any more comments coming in. There goes Stop Geo Engineering. Randall double smash spot. Please look at his past matchups with Toronto. Now he's hearing Brunson questionable. Says he's going to ladder Randall 25 plus points, 12 rebounds plus 500. That's an interesting look. And then, yeah, if Brunson doesn't go, they will rely heavily on Barrett and Randall. So I can see that. You capper. Boofer, you are absolutely right about this. Ski didn't sleep as much as other cappers this weekend. Absolutely right. Ray says, Ski, did you post up with Jay? I did hang out with Jay, did go out with Jay, hit up Dre's, etc. Have a cool time. Always nice to see Jay when he's in town. And my guy Wham Bam was in town too. It was his birthday. So eventful weekend. Very eventful weekend. All right, let's keep going. Oh, and for everybody who you can stop asking me if I got beef with Jay, right? I was just hanging out with Jay yesterday. You guys to stop asking me. And not that you asked me, Ray, but a lot of people have been for whatever reason. Maybe because we don't do shows every day together anymore. But love Jay nonetheless. All right, next game up, the game I did think was next before. We'll go 549, 550. Chicago Bulls, Milwaukee Bucks. Opened up Bucks minus 10. They're now an 11.5 point favorite. Total opened up 231.5. We're looking at consensus of 232.5. Injury report for Chicago. Patrick Williams is game time decision, but he's likely to play. Caruso is the true game time decision, and Levine will be out. For the Bucks, Jay Crowder, Pat Connaughton, both out. Livingston, game time decision. First thing that came to my mind is, well, it's a few things, a few ways that I feel about this game, things that came to my mind. I guess I'll start with this. I'm not sure exactly what was said, but I did see Bobby Portis, what was he going off on the coach for the Bucks? And I don't know if that's the greatest sign. I do, however, feel like after the Bucks lost to the Pacers, they should be embarrassed. I feel like, hearing Giannis talk, he didn't say it directly, but I feel like they're embarrassed right now. And when you have a team that's supposed to be this good, a team that was playing pretty good up until that point lately, that is embarrassed, it's very hard for me to look to go against them. Now, 11 and a half points for a Bucks team that I don't have a whole lot of confidence in defensively, that makes me nervous. That scares me. Um, a Bucks team that had to play zone because they can't stop anybody on defense. So that makes me nervous. But I do feel like the Bucks are going to come out with a lot of effort to start this game. Maybe you go Bucks first half, Bucks first quarter if you like them. Um, UCapper's agreeing. I know I'll get to some more comments, but he says statement game here. He likes the Bucks. That's how I'm feeling. It just has that kind of a feel after how they went out in that tournament. They've covered 8 of their last 12 games. They're only 4-7 as home favorites so far this season. They're only 3-8 against the spread versus lesser competition teams. However, Bulls haven't been great. 2-6 as a road dog. They are on the front end of a back-to-back versus Denver tomorrow. But since Levine has sat down, I think that's what this coincides with. They're 4-1 ATS their last 5 games. So I do think you get effort from those other guys in the Chicago lineup, but just is it enough? Like if that Milwaukee team plays like they care and they've had some time to work on what was wrong with this time off, they should be able to run Chicago out the gym here. And I think it starts early. So it could be a Bucks trifecta spot, Smack City spot, whatever you want to call it. I do think the over is also in play. Rob Vino on Friday mentioned Billy Donovan, just kind of saying that they got to start playing with some pace. He wasn't thrilled about the pace they were playing with and how their pace numbers have started to increase. Chicago has now won over 6 of their last 7 games. We know Milwaukee's going to play with pace. They're number 5 the last 5 games, and they've gone over 4 of their last 5. I think the over is. I think the over is a good bet here. I think the market is moving it in the right direction. And I also think the Bucks smash. So whether you go Bucks team total over, Bucks on the spread, and the over, I even think Bucks trifecta. So I have a lot of different ways I feel about this game. And the only one I had on my short list, I guess I didn't even write it down here, but I did like it, was Chicago and Milwaukee over. Let's put that there. And I'm gonna put the Bucks here too, because I do feel like this is a statement game from them. Let's take a look at the chat, see what you guys are thinking here. Steph already says we need proof, we need some photos. I'm still joking about it. Boofer says no pigs didn't happen. Says I got beef with you, Capper. Yeah, everybody knows I only got beef with Munoz, man. Only Munoz, nobody else. AOD says it's true. Rui walked out of Dre's with 6 girls. For one, where did you hear this from? And I don't want to be telling other people's business, but Rui is having a good time. That's all I'll say. Rui, he was in there enjoying himself. He was having a great time. That's what I'll say. Gilbert's liking Bucks team total over. And Christian Wood was there too. I saw Paul Pierce too. Paul Pierce was there too. There's a lot of people you could recognize in Vegas this weekend, but at Dre specifically did see a couple of those people. Um, let's see, let's keep going. Saturated likes Kobe White on his points. Sean Evans says Kobe over 24 and a half points plus assists. Well, the thing with Kobe was ever since Levine is out, right? But I'm sure they're starting to raise his number. At what point are you going to jump off of Cody? That's what I would ask. But it has been good since Levine has been sitting down. David says not laying that many points with the Bucks. Gotta take the points, bro. Brian thinks Kobe over threes. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, Gilbert. We know who won. Saturated says Javon Carter revenge. Sweaty Butcher says the Bulls are 1-12 ATS in the first half of their last 13. Now that I was not aware of. He was saying I'm kind of leaning towards the Bucks early. Let me mark that down. Bulls are what, 1-12 ATS last 13 first half. Appreciate you sharing that, Sweaty Butcher. Do think it starts early for this one. UCapper says Bulls been catching teams. Bucks overlooked Bulls without DeRozan and Levine. Caught Pels on a back-to-back. Caught Hornets without LaMelo. Spurs are whack. So saying don't put too much stock into what the Bulls have been doing. And I get that. Saturated is because they got guys on the court that care. That's why they play better without Levine. Levine does not want to be there. Real DJ reminding everybody to hit the like button. It does help out the show. Absolutely helps out the show. AOD says Jay Money said, "Well, yeah, there you go. Cat's out the bag, huh? Yeah, he was doing his thing." You guys says Rui was taking care of his mental health. Could absolutely say he was doing that. So I think that's enough for Chicago and Milwaukee. And yeah, we can keep it moving here. Next game we will go to. The last thing I'll say about that is I swear, man, this Christian Wood must have a twin or something. It was a dude in there. Like I seen Christian Wood. This dude who looked exactly like him. Wouldn't be surprised if he had a twin. If not, I guess it's his brother. Look dead alike. Next game up, Spurs and Rockets. Game open, or I'm sorry, 551, 552. It opened Rockets -7. They're now a 9.5 point favorite. Total open 224.5. And it's down to about 223.5. Injury report here for the Spurs. I don't see anybody on there. For the Rockets, Reggie Bullock, game time decision. Eason, game time decision. They're without Oladipo. Looking at how both of these teams have been playing lately, obviously everything favors Houston in the categories that I care about: offensive rating, defensive rating, rebound percentage. Spurs have covered 5 of their last 16 games. There hasn't been a whole lot to like from them. And they have also gone over 12 of their last 18. We know they play up tempo and don't play a whole lot of defense. Rockets, a little bit of the opposite. Second slowest in pace the last 5. And they are a team that thrives on their defense. Looking at the Rockets so far this season, when they play these lesser competition teams, they're making it known that we're not bottom feeders anymore. Don't put us in that category. 6-0 ATS versus less than 45% win teams. 2-0-1 as a home favorite. And they are 12-2-2 against the spread their last 16 games. Only failed to cover 2 games out of their last 16. They're just a wagon, as I guess everybody would call them nowadays. The Rockets are 8-2 to the under at home. They've gone under 10 of their last 13 games, and their last 6 home games, as a matter of fact, have all went under. So maybe this one is a little bit of a correlation. If you like the Rockets, you think they win with defense and a little less points in this one. And if you like the Spurs, it has to be a high scoring affair. I can't back the Spurs in this game. Um, I like the way the Rockets are playing lately. I feel like after that loss to the Lakers, where Ime got ejected, and was saying his team was getting pumped, like that call out, spark back in the Rockets. Um, back playing how they were to start the season. So I lean towards the Rockets. I don't view them as a team as I want to play with like this. But the Spurs are a team that when they lose by margin. So just to lean Rockets or under. Don't think I'll get to the window with either. Let's see if the chat feels a little bit stronger about this game than I do. Real DJ says over full game. Can't lay down with the Rockets. I hear you on that. UCaver says, I wonder if someone's going to drop a Rockets trend. Are you talking about me? Let me know if you're talking about me. I don't know. I write down a lot of trends all morning. And I did see you, talking. I didn't know if you were talking about me. It flew over my head. Got a lot going on. And like you guys said, uh, my brain might be a little bit all over the place because of the weekend. Let's see. I dropped all the Rockets trends that I had that written down for today. If you were talking about me. Christian says he likes the under. Let's see. Travis joining late. Yes, we already covered that game. He likes the Magic first half. Appreciate you sharing that. All right, let's keep going. He says, no, he wasn't talking about me. It's somebody else copy and pasting his trends in the chat. um, Brian, I'm not sure what you mean here. It says second half back. You were right last game. Tyler says Van Fleet over 17.5 points. I don't feel too strongly here. Doesn't seem like the chat does either. So we'll keep it moving. We'll go to 553, 554. That will be Utah heading into Oklahoma. I call them Oklahoma City. I guess we can leave the jokes alone for now. We can leave the jokes alone for now. OKC opened up minus 12 and a half. They are still minus 12 and a half. Total open 224 and a half. And it is okay, down as low as 223. So, I'm sorry. That from the wrong one. Open 232 and a half, and it's going up as high as 234. I looked at the wrong line there. Injury report: Lou Dort out for OKC. For Utah, looks like John Collins game time decision. They're going to be without both Walker Kessler and Larry Markkinen. Two big, um, two. I mean, that's two big misses for them in this game tonight. Let me switch on over here. Looking at how both of these teams have been doing lately. Um, Last 5 game stats say that Utah's been the worst offensive rated team, and that makes sense to me because I mean, you've been missing marketing. Clarkson has been in and out of the lineup. That's a lot of offense missing for them in general. So OKC's been better there. OKC's been a top 10 defensive rated team. They've been better there. But rebounding, that is where Utah is supposed to have the edge in this game. But I'm not quite sure how much of an edge they have anymore if Kessler's out, missing marketing too. I mean, OKC has been very poor on the boards, but I think that might neutralize it a little bit here. Looking at the Jazz, they're 3-7 as a road dog so far this season. On the flip side, OKC has been they've been really good. ATS they've covered, or let's say they're 11-4-1. ATS their last 16 games, 5-2 as a home favorite so far this season. And when they play lesser competition, that being less than 45% win teams, they are 5-1 against the spread. Doesn't mean all their wins have been by 13 plus, but I feel like the Jazz are a team that have been beaten up quite a bit lately. Um, so for OKC, this is where a little bit of a difference for me. Like when I'm viewing these teams that in previous years have been bottom feeders, and I talk about like I don't view them as like they still got something to prove, right? I don't view them as a team to lay this kind of a margin. I've said that about the Rockets, even though they're still a lot better than they have been. And I've said it about the Magic, and the Magic have proved me wrong a little bit so far this year. But teams that I personally like to trust to win by margin are teams that can shoot the three well, teams that can defend the three well, because that's how you separate. That's how you win by big margin. And OKC is top 10, both of those categories. Utah is bottom 10, both of those categories, with Utah being the worst offense in the league the last 5 games. So I think this is a spread where it's big for a reason. I think OKC can run them out the gym type of deal. So lean Thunder minus the 12 and a half. And if I was going to play the total here, I don't want to trust Utah to do some scoring. I know OKC likes to play with pace, but I do also trust OKC's defense. And I want to bet against. I want to bet against Utah's offense. So team total for Utah, best number I see right now is 111. I lean a little bit more towards that. I don't. Let me write this down here. So I already have Jazz team total there. I'll put OKC on the spread too. OKC minus 12 and a half. But like the worst offense versus top 10 defense, bottom 10 3-point team versus top 10 3-point defense, missing their best scorer and marking in. I know they got Clarkson out there, but I think Utah struggles here tonight. I really do. Two ways that I prefer to play this game. Let's take a look at the chat, see if they agree. Was that a Babano impression? I did get that from Babano. Oklahoma City. That is absolutely Babano. But you know what I was saying before? Oklahoma Kitty. So that's why I said that. Boofer reminding everybody to hit the like button. Gilbert likes the Thunder team total over. Prefers that over laying the big spread. Bryce says 12.5 is a little bit too much. He wants to look towards the first half. UCapper agrees. Jazz team total under looks solid. I mean, I had that on my list from last night, even at 109.5. Get another point and a half, put it onto it. I'm still liking it. Real DJ says if the Mavs beat the Jazz by 50, OKC can beat them by at least 20. I hear you. David's best bet is the Thunder. Ryan likes Thunder first half and Jazz team total under. Here's some first half numbers shared by Bryce Miller. OKC 14-7 ATS, Jazz 8-14 ATS, and minus 11.4 first half margin on the road too. So he's thinking get in and get out with the Thunder on a shorter number. Good stuff there. Appreciate you sharing that, and definitely sounds good to me. UCapper says Jazz 9-2, team total under on the road. Last time Thunder was a double-digit favorite, they kept their opponent under their team total by 27 points. Glad that we're in agreement the way that we view this game. Booper says OKC first half and full game. Real DJ likes the over on the full game. Says he does like that team total under. So that means you like Thunder team total over. That's what that means, Real DJ. Munaf, did I get no Tony jersey yet? No, I'm not thinking about no baseball, but I am happy to have him here. Maybe we can actually finally win something again. I know he's not supposed to pitch this upcoming year, but we got him for 10 years, so I will take it. All right, so that's it for this one. Let's keep it moving here. We've been on for 52 minutes, and we still have 4 more games left on this 13 game slate, I think it was. So next one up, 5:55, 5:56. Minnesota Timberwolves heading into New Orleans to take on the Pelicans. Opened up Pellies -2. They're now consensus of -4. Total open 222. We're looking at 222.5. Even there's a 223 on the board as well. Injury report here for the Pelicans. They'll be without Larry Nash Jr. and Matt Ryan. For the Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards is game time decision here. So is McDaniels and McLaughlin. They'll continue to be without Clark. Guess I got to switch back over here. My sheet had these games all over the place. I felt a couple different ways about this one. Number one, Minnesota is a team that I trust at home, do not trust on the road. And also, it's mostly like for whatever reason, their defense shows up at home. It does not on the road. They are either 6-3 or 7-3 to the over on the road. So if they're not playing defense, I don't like Minnesota. Like that's their strong suit here. To see Ant game time decision too doesn't give me a whole lot of confidence for them. And this is a team that has won. I think this is the main thing that stands out to me. They've won 6 games in a row, and then now they're a road dog here. I just feel like they made them underdogs here for a reason. They are 1-2 as a road dog so far this season. Pelicans, they've covered 9 of their last 13 games. I keep saying it ever since that team meeting thing that they had, and Ingram and Zion working more together. They've been playing better. They've also gotten healthier now, getting some of their shooters back in the lineup. They're 4-2 as a home favorite. They've covered 7 straight home games. They've covered 9. They've won 8 out of 12 home games straight up, covered 9 out of 12 against the spread. I think this is a Pelican spot. And I think it's a Pelican spot because they got an ass whooping on national TV by 40 points. Everybody saw it. And for a team that's been playing as well as they have. But like they gotta respond. If I look at last 5 game stats, only the offense favors the Pelicans. I do think they're really capable on the defensive end. And I already talked about Minnesota's defense on the road not being as great. And I just feel like it's a Pelican spot. I really do. I held off betting it overnight just because I wanted to think it over a little bit more. But Pelicans was already on my short list here at -3, already up to -4 now. Um, Only way I'm looking is Pelicans, and I think the over is the right side too. I already talked enough about Minnesota's defense. Pelicans defense hasn't been great lately. Really, I lean mostly towards it because of how I view Minnesota. But either the Pelicans or the over are the ways that I'm looking in this game. Let's take a look at the chat, see what you guys are thinking. Brucey says trifecta for them tonight. They got embarrassed in the tournament. I agree with that. Brian S. liking Pels as the best bet tonight. Lit picks also liking first half Pelicans. I know their first half margin has been really good on the season. Let me just glance at it. Plus 4.8 compared to Minnesota. Minnesota's been solid too, plus 2.7. Take a look at a couple more here. Brian likes the Pelicans at home, first half full game. Real DJ says Zion just getting home. He low key stayed in Vegas this weekend. Yeah, that would have me terrified. I agree with that. We all know what Vegas, we all know what Zion is into. You seen the little interview too. You know he was excited to be out here. He got a little bit of money. He probably was out here blowing it. Won't say what he blow it on, but I agree that he probably enjoyed himself while he was in Vegas. Mr. Money, I think they'll show up tonight because of it. I hear you. David Martin says we've been eating with Pelicans. Let's go. Travis John says first half Pels. Says they're 9-3 first half against the spread at home. They're going to want to come out strong after the embarrassment to the Lakers. I agree with that thought process. Says, nah, he went to Dallas after Vegas. um, tomorrow says, Ski, didn't you have a trend about teams losing by 40 plus? I did type it in one time. Um, I'm not sure if I saved it, but I tried to look. I have a trend that says, and let me go back to it because I didn't write it down. It's a trend that pretty much says, I'll go back to it just so we can get the exact teams that have won 4+ games in a row, and they're a road dog, and they have a better win percentage than their opponent. It goes back to the 2014 season. I have them as 34, 78 straight up, 30.4%, 45, 63, and 4 against the spread, 41.7%. That says to fade the Timberwolves, both ATS and straight up. So that is one that did populate for me. I did try to play around with some stuff for the 40-point thing, but I didn't quite see it. So I do remember doing one, just don't think it correlated for this specific game. How do you query margin lost by previous colon margin and then like that. All right. Let's keep it moving here. I think we're still doing all right time wise. We have 3 more games left. And let me take a little second, drink a little bit more water, man. I'm dehydrated after the weekend. All right. 557, 558. We are looking at Dallas Mavericks heading into Memphis. Opened up Mavs minus 2.5. They are a 1.5 point favorite right now. Total open 229. And it's dropped as low as 226.5. Injury report we will refresh. Josh Green, Kyrie Irving, Maxi Kleba, Grant Williams, all out for the Mavericks. Laravia, game time decision. Brandon Clark out. Luke Kennard out. John Morant, I think he still has 4 more games to miss. Marcus Smart out as well. And let's see. So for this one, Dallas is on the front end of a back-to-back. They play the Lakers tomorrow. This Dallas team, 6-1 is a road favorite. As long as they have rest, they're 13-4 against the spread. And they've covered 7 of their last 9 games versus Memphis straight up. or they've covered 7 of their last 9 games versus Memphis, but they're 1-4 straight up last 5 versus Memphis. And now, it's just two different teams. Grizzlies don't have Morant. Dallas, I'm not sure if they had Kyrie all those times either. So don't know how much I can put into those last stats. Memphis 2-4 as a home dog. They have been playing better lately. They've covered 4 of their last 5 games. If I look at last 5 game stats, they've been the better defense. They've been a slightly better rebounding team. The offense, major advantage for this Maverick squad. So this one, the point spread is too small for me to really trust Memphis to go out there and win straight up. I just I just don't think they're that good, and I would rather put my money elsewhere. Honestly, like if we're gonna, it could be that same kind of feel as that Denver game, probably because Dallas on the front end of a back to back. But I would only look towards the Mavs to win this game. That's just how I feel. Maybe it's more of a gut thing than anything else. But that's my thought on this one. Grizzlies have went under 7 of their last 9. Mavs have went over 4 of their last 5. Mavs are 8-3 to the over on the road. Don't have the strongest feel. It has went under 8 of the last 10 meetings. So just sharing stats on this game. Absolutely will not be involved. Let's see if you guys like this game a little bit better than me. Um, get the vitamins in, Ski. Chris sharing a trend here. Teams that lost by more than 40 and are a favorite. They're 37-10 straight up, 78.7%, and 66% against the spread. Appreciate you sharing that, Chris. That's the trend that you guys are asking for. That does say to back the Pelicans there tonight. Saturated says definitely need some graphics for your water breaks. Nobody wants to see that. Ski drinking the Fiji water, man, living his best life. Munaf likes Luca tonight. Rebounds plus assists, though, not points. Grizzlies haven't been a great rebounding team. So that's an interesting look there. Real DJ says headband Luca's showing out. Take the Mavs minus the 1.5. They absolutely need Josh saturated. Absolutely. What up, Debbie Cab? Oh, I do have Boofer says ski get someone to do a drink water break screen. I do have that one picture that you kept sent me where he had to drink water with me drinking the water on there. Maybe I'll use that next time. I don't even know how to do it, but I'll figure it out. Let's see if we can get that one going. I am not taking the Dallas Mavericks today. Avocado likes Luca over 9.5 boards. So I don't feel extremely strong about this game. 13 games. I'll find other places to put my money. This next game, though, I've been very interested in since last night. 559, 560. Brooklyn Nets, Sacramento Kings. Opened up Kings minus 5.5. They are 4.5 point favorite now. Total open 234. As high as 236.5. Injury report. For the Kings, we have Alex Len out. Malik Monk is game time decision. And then Kobe Jones, game time decision as well. For the Nets, they'll be without Ben Simmons, Dennis Smith Jr., and Lonnie Walker. They are still relatively healthy for this next team. Got some other guys back into the lineup in recent weeks. The Sacramento team is on the front end of a back-to-back. They play the Clippers tomorrow. If I look at last 5 game stats, they all favor Brooklyn. Brooklyn is top 5 offensive rated, defensive rated team, and top 5 rebounding team. Brooklyn top 10 shooting the three, top 10 defending the three. We always talk about, or I always talk about, those are the kind of teams that I care about and trust to win by any margin. We're getting them here as a dog versus Kings on the front end of a back-to-back. I mean, Nets have covered 7 of their last 8. They've won straight up 6 of their last 7. 5-2 as a road dog this season. What reason is there to take the Kings here? Why do we not go back to Nets? I mean, it seems really easy to do it, but I have to think to back the Nets here. Plus, I mean, I had them on my short list +5, +4.5. I think they can win this game outright. Honestly, It's simple as that. Total last five meetings. Or I'm sorry, last five home games for the Kings have went over five of the last six games in general. We know they like to play a bit more up tempo and don't trust the Kings defense. The Nets, I feel like they can play either way, but when they were a little bit more unhealthy, they were playing slower. Now that the guys are back in the lineup, I feel like they're starting to play faster. So I would look towards an over. I agree with the market pushing it up, and I agree with the market, coming back down on this line, saying that the Nets are the right side or Nets taking money, however you want to call it. So Nets plus 4.5 will be my look in this game. Let's take a look at what you guys like tonight for this one in the chat. You kept says just upload it as an image. Easy enough. I can do that. Rena says RC needs to take me back to Hattie B's for the spicy chicken. It's spicy, man. And it was scared. Jay and RC was scared to get the spiciest one. I at least got the spiciest one. I ain't scared. We can go back to Hattie B's. Sweaty Butcher says Nets are covering machines. Gilbert says Nets are my dog. Brian also liking the Nets. Munoz likes the Nets. Says they're the best bet on his show today. David says Nets are money. Saturated says, seems like Fox only gets up for big games. Would you consider this a big game or tomorrow? I think tomorrow will be the big game versus Clippers, right? Bryce Miller likes the Red Rocket over on his points. That would be Kayvon. No, he's not on the Hawks anymore. Kevin Herter. Kevin Herter. Um, Gilbert likes Claxton over his rebounds. Says Sabonis struggles with physical centers. Interesting. What up, Lucky Power? Tyreek agrees that it's a look ahead spot for the Kings. J Money 029 disagrees. He says, like the beam tonight, they're going to smack them up. And Markel says, everyone on the Nets, huh? I don't like it. I don't like having a dog that everybody likes. I don't care if everybody likes the favorite I like, but I prefer not to have the dog that everybody likes. I do think about that. But again, no way could I take the Kings here. It's a one-way ticket for me. Munoz says he likes Claxton's board. And we will keep moving right along. We have one more game left on the slate today for the NBA. And we've already been on here an hour and 8 minutes. I really don't think we're touching NFL. You guys know I don't feel strongly about it anyway. So maybe we'll touch it again on Thursday when we have Ravino here. Next game up, 561. Last game up, 562. Portland at the Clippers. Opened up Clippers minus 12.5. They're a 13 or 13.5 point favorite right now. Total open 217.5. And as high as 220.5. So about a 3 point increase there. Injury report, DeAndre Ayton is game time. Brogdon is game time. Jeremy Grant is out. Wainwright is out. For the Clippers, Plumlee continues to be out there. I really would want Brogdon in. I had on my short list Blazers plus 13 written down here, but I really want Brogdon in. Blazers have been playing well lately. They've covered 5 of their last 7 games. They're 8-5 as a road dog. If you look at last 5 games, Portland is the better defensive team. Portland is the better rebounding team. It's just, can they find enough offense to keep this one close? For the Clippers, they are on the front end of a back-to-back. They play the Kings tomorrow, like we just talked about. And I'm just not sure how much they care about playing defense in this game. Usually, like any other time, not up front of a back-to-back versus a good team, I would be thinking they would show up defensively here, and I could trust both defenses and play the under. But just them being in this spot, I don't know how much we get from them. So, combination of that, and then the Clippers, in my mind, they usually play down the competition. I have them as 2-5 versus less than 45% win teams. I would only take the Blazers here. as far as the point spread is concerned. I think you get full effort from them at least for the majority of this game compared to the Clippers. And looking at the total, I have to mention Clippers have won under 10 of their last 13 games. They're 7-1-2, I believe, to the under at home. Portland is also won under 5 of their last 7. But look at the market, saying that both of these teams coming off rest with the Clippers on the front end of a back to back. They're pushing it up. They don't think it's going to be low scoring. I think the market could be correct here. So lean Portland. Probably not going to bet the over. Would bet Portland if anything in this game. But unsure if I will get to the window. Let's see what the chat is looking like here. What do you guys like? Munaf shouting out his show. Make sure y'all go check out Munaf. He does great work as well. NBA Gambling Podcast. John, what up, bro? And yes, I know exactly who this is. Says Nets 16-4 ATS this season. They got to regress at some point. I mean, I view the Nets as a pretty solid, pretty decent team. I like the pieces on their roster. +4. What do you think they should be? Should they be +8, 9? I think this point spread is fair. UCapper said he's out. Make sure you to catch us on the NBA tip-off show later. Yeah, I'll have a lot more looks shored up. We'll talk about how they put the games on there with the segments, and another best bet will be given on that show as well. Says Clippers -13. Oh hell no, I would agree with that. Chris says Clippers 34, 16-3 to the under at home, dating back to last year. I do remember that as well. What up, Wham Bam? Just remind everybody to hit the like button. Hopefully you enjoyed your birthday, brother, and hopefully you made it back safely. Appreciate you tuning in and reminding everybody to hit that like button. Man, y'all should have seen Wham. Wham was enjoying himself. Itachi's still sharing the trend on this game. Well, first, Munaf says Blazers are 4-1 ATS when they're down to 12 points or more this season, 4-1 to the under. And pretty similar. Itachi says Blazers as double-digit dogs on the road this season, 5-1 ATS, 5-1 to the under. So same thing they're saying. Andrew Quinn says smash the like button. Thanks, Ski. Appreciate you, Andrew Quinn. And I forgot already. Levy. I remember you told me in the chat, but I've already said what kind of weekend I had. I'll remember this time. I just maybe I was confused when you told me which way to say it, but I appreciate you tuning in, brother. Wham says, like Rui. Booper says, oh, Wham capping for real. Oh, like Chevy. Levy like Chevy. Okay, there you go, Boofer. I get that one. That's nice and easy for me. Nice and easy. All right, we got through every NBA game for today. We got through every NBA game for today, and now it's that part of the show where we do best bets. So while I look over my short list, or rather long list for today, and see which one I would like to make available, remind you guys, we've been doing this, and I always talk about how good the chat is. I mean, chat has been cashing. So put your best bet down there in the chat if you have one. I'll do my best to record as many as I can record, and we'll come back. We'll give credit due where it's due tomorrow, and we'll rock like that. But been a lot of good information shared in the chat. A lot of best bet winners since we've started doing it. So now it's time. I have a lot on my short list. A lot of these numbers have moved. This can be crossed off. I'm absolutely not betting that. And I forgot to mention too. I'll throw that out there before I get to best bet. But Bobby Portis for Chicago, that is also worth a look. We'll see how he does in that game. So best bet for the show. I am in between. I like a lot today. I really do. And I've been trying to just like take my time because I feel like this is one of those days where either the injury report can get me or something of that nature. So while I look over this list, Hopefully we get some of those best bets in the chat. I will start to shout them out shortly. But here's what I'll say. I'm not rolling with this one just yet. May get there on Wager Talk later, so you guys can watch that. I really like that Jazz team total under. I really do, but it's not going down. I'm not in a rush to take it. It's heading up. I don't have to rush to take that one. Pelicans, I think is a really good look. I do. I really, really do. So it's between the Pelicans right now and between that Washington and Philly over. And here's what I'll do. Let me take a look at best. So the best money line you can get for the Pelicans is minus 166. Implied probability on that is probably about 62-ish%. And we did have some trends shared that said that it's hitting around 78%. It was something like that. Favorites after losing by 40 plus points. Also have that trend. We're gonna roll with the Pelicans. Whether we take the spread or the money line, that is what I'm thinking about here. But Minnesota, 6 wins in a row. They're a road dog here. Pelicans and Bears after getting smacked by 40 in the tournament. It's a lot of things that matches up to take the Pelicans here tonight. Something that I haven't been doing a whole lot this season that I've done in previous seasons is the ski line. And this may be a situation where I introduce it. But pretty much what that is you take the spread and the money line and you're creating your own line, similar to how they do like those minus ones in baseball or hockey. I think it's still a good bet at minus 166. Here's what I'll do. I'll look it up. I'll do my odds calculator just so I can be certain. But whether you want to do both or one or the other, I think this is the direction we're going for today. So my odds converter minus 166 is about what I said, 62.4% implied probability. And the one that I said that the Pelicans should win about 69 point something percent. And the other trend said they win 78% of the time. So Pelicans is a good bet, however you choose to take it, money line or spread. For now, the best you can get is minus 3.5. I really don't want to give a juicy one for the best bet. So here's what I'll do. We'll do two best bets for the show. I like them both. We'll go Pelicans. That's the best bet. I'm personally going to take the money line because mathematically wise, it's still a good bet. But I'm also going to roll with that Washington and Philadelphia over. The best number you can get right now is 244.5. And we're rolling with that one because it's the opposite of if you know, you know, just the over version. So two bets we have good reasons to take. Two best bets for the show. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Let's take a look at the best bets in the chat. A couple of them. I'll write them down after. But let's shut him out here for the show. Munoff likes Nets plus 4.5, and he likes that Sixers Wizards over. Like to hear that. Anwar likes Orlando minus 1.5. Whoop reminding everybody to hit the likes. Saturated likes Embiid to smash again. I'm assuming that's his points prop. Jay Money's 029. His best bet is going to be Heat minus 3.5. Mail going for 4-0. He likes the Avs team total under 3.5 again. And I remember you cast one of those for the best bet already. So that's one that you're riding. Like to see that. Bryce Miller likes that Jazz team total under as his best bet. Markel with the Thunder first half. Brian is agreeing with that. Tim's best bet looks like Rockets minus 9. My guy Lit Picks has had a lot of success with the best bets. He likes Randall over 9.5 boards and Pels minus 2. Appreciate you guys. And Bryce asking, before I get off, I will share this because I brought it up already. What would the ski line be? So let me put it in here. American, just try to help out really quick. So the money line minus 166. Minus 1.5 is minus 110, obviously. You would create, if you did the ski line, you would create a minus 139 line. which implied probability is what 58%. So to answer your question, that's what it is. You guys got two best bets for this show. A lot of best bets in the chat. Appreciate you guys. I always say this show is absolutely nothing without the chat. Appreciate you guys. Best of luck if you tell. Good luck everybody on all of your action. And I will catch you guys again tomorrow. Peace. Ski life.